Wonder Woman, the new Wonder Woman, 1984, is going to be delayed. And the reason it's being delayed is because the Tenet is not as doing as well as I guess the studio heads had kind of hoped it would. So, are you guys? What do you guys think about this? You think this was a good move, or you disappointed, or did you not care about Wonder Woman?
So here's the thing. This is kind of my perspective on this. Whenever there's like a store near me that's closed, and I pass by it, like it's got the store closing sign and everything, I think about, have I been to that store? Because if I haven't, then it's like, okay, it makes sense, right? So in the article, it talks about how Tenet's sales apparently have been pretty disappointing.
Have you seen Tenet? Just curious.
I actually have not. And this is actually the point I'm about to make, is like they're saying in the article that apparently the film industry is going staggering. It's not off to the explosive start that they had hoped this September to be, when they were introducing these movies. And I was thinking to myself, have I been to a movie theater? I have not. So makes sense. It just doesn't seem right.
Okay. Yeah. I like to think there's a potential that Tenet, it didn't have a good opening week. And actually, Mulan outperformed it already, which we'll get into a little bit later. But with their direct to streaming model, but I like to think that there is a possibility that Tenet still does well with like a slow trickle, right? Like maybe not everyone wants to see it all at once. But, as more and more people see it and they talk about their experience of going to the theaters, we've talked about it on this podcast. It's not crowded theaters. I was the only one when I saw it in a completely empty theater to myself. So if, people kind of think like, hey, you know what, maybe it's not as dangerous as I might worry that it might be, that they'll start to come in. And then, Tenet could still be the savior of the movie industry in this COVID world. I like to think. But, no guarantees.
But if it is that slow trickle down thing, how many, I guess, movie studios will like get excited by that or care? Because they don't want a slow trickle. They want everything, within the first week or two.
That is true.
Yeah. Sorry, I was about to say that, like, in good times, they get an explosive start, and then it's a slow trickle with the good start,
Yeah.
My understanding is that Tenet is going to stay in theaters a little bit longer than it would have normally. So they're stretching it out so that it could have a longer period to see how it goes. My question to you guys is, do you think that, Wonder Woman is coming out in December. It's coming out Christmas Day, I believe. Is that going to be the difference? Is people are going to be like, oh, Christmas, because unlikely we're going to have some kind of vaccine by then. I can't imagine. So, is pushing it to December going to be effective? Is that going to do what they want it to do?
I doubt it. That's just, I don't know, my gut feeling. I don't know if it'll really make that much of a difference.
I actually think it will. And I think there's a reason they chose December, because September is not an exciting time. I mean, like, is there usually a big September like moment for movies, or because I feel like that's the summer, it's the holidays, I don't know if it's going to solve their problem here, but I think it will perform better by being on the holidays.
I mean, maybe it's possible that a lot of people have off on Christmas, and it's possible that maybe people consider, hey, let's go see a movie. It's not impossible. I am not sure what the right move is, honestly. I don't know if they would, do better if they did this direct to streaming thing, or if the theater release still has legs and we just have to see how that goes. Is anyone here?
Now,
Oh,
will
yeah.
Wonder Woman be a theatrical only release, or do they plan on doing a VOD thing at the same time?
As far as I'm aware, it's only right now that's going to be theatrical, although who's to say that might change? I mean, especially if we see, Mulan do, and I think it's doing marginally well. We don't have official numbers on it because, streaming we rarely do. But Yahoo Finance put out what they think the Mulan, how it was doing. And the numbers looked pretty good. So if Mulan is a success and Tenet is not, that might make more movie studios be like, okay, this direct to, VOD model is just a better sell than the theater experience at the moment. In which case we'd probably see, it's a good chance we'd see a Wonder Woman possibly, or maybe a dual hybrid kind of thing, which is what I think they did in Korea, right, with Mulan.
Yeah, we have a theatrical release here. As for Disney Plus, I don't know how much of a thing that is here. I don't know if Koreans use Disney Plus.
I mean, fair enough. Were either of you interested in Wonder Woman as a movie? Like, are any of you excited to see it?
It's the same director, and that's promising. I thought the first Wonder Woman was pretty good, all told. So, yeah, I mean, I know that DC doesn't have a great film pedigree, but I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I'd watch it. I like the aesthetic that it's been kind of displaying through its advertising.
I'm also a fan of the 80s thing. That's like a...
Yeah, that
it's
still hasn't gotten old yet, I guess.
Yeah. I feel like we've been on the 80s train for the last 20 years. It's just die.
Is it just a genre now? Is it like fantasy? Like it's
and 80s.
80s fiction?
Maybe, who knows?